It's kind of a really nice day. I decided to take a walk. I can't remember the last time I had a really hard time flipping the page over. A light haze in the air lowered the opacity of the distant buildings by like 15%. I imagined being a concrete block high up on one of those buildings, suspended, constantly berated by the sun, forever stuck in the windy heights of the sky. The view must be so nice from up there. I sit next to the path where I saw the black scuttling creature. Scuttled around. So it was too fast to be a rat. Had the aura of a tarantula. To this day, too fast to be a rat. Scuttles into the hole. My phone keeps buzzing. Calls from collection agencies trying to take my money. Yeah, of course I'll answer that. I'll pick that up immediately. The sign in the bathroom says, "Make more time for those little moments." I have a hard time understanding what it means as I sit there staring at it on the toilet. I skated past another skater. We both gave each other the same little hand gesture as we passed. In moments like these, I feel as though we are all one and the same. I sat down at a row of benches that overlooked nothing. Tiny particles of floating white seeds danced in a spherical geometry around them. This is how the world works. This is how the world works. I check my phone to see if the buzz is who I want it to be. It's not. My body might not feel pain anymore, but my heart, it's still fragile. I felt the urge to curl up and take a nap and realized no one would disturb me. They would walk right past me and treat me as if I was invisible, even though I would take up at least some of their thoughts. A woman walked closer to me down the path, and I thought, that person looks cool. She walked by clutching an art piece to her chest and said, "Have a nice day." And I responded with something that sounded almost like, "Oh, thank you." And every time I look uphill, my bag gets heavier, and I realize the further I go, the longer the way home. Why don't I take all this stuff with me? Bags need to be too much stuff with me. I have all this stuff, much stuff. I don't even use that. How far back can I think? How far back thoughts seem to escape? How far back? My memories seem to escape me. Like every time I wake up, my life is just starting over, and I have to learn how to progress all over again. I wake up. My pocket buzzes again. I know it's not who I hope it is, but I check anyway. I lay down on the concrete and the sun caresses my face. I should keep going. I gotta keep going. I should keep going. I watched a turtle struggle to climb onto a rock. After failing a few times, he swam away, pushed a leaf around with his head, and then swam back and tried again. After failing a few more times, he found a new angle and pulled himself up. And then he turned to look up as if saying, "What? I got it." It's moments like these where I really feel as though we are all one and the same. The lady on her phone somehow gets louder the further away she jogs, and a man hacks and spits on the ground and continues singing a little song. I start to realize how dull life has become, even in the face of this grand adventure. I feel tired and disconnected, without even knowing. Suddenly I realize I'm back on the path I came. A man notices me writing and says, "You must be a writer." My first thought is to say something snarky, but I simply engage in polite small talk. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful day out. Oh, where are you visiting from? He was nice. I change course up some stairs and find a sad fountain pathetically displaying itself to no one. As I look up from my journal, it pushes itself harder, sending itself higher in beams of white reflection which I can smell. A man walks past and they die down. As soon as he's gone, they spark back up. Are they displaying themselves only for me? A lady sits alone in a field reading a book. I think about bringing a lady to the field, carrying a heavy load of picnic materials on my back with like a PVC pipe or something. A nice man talks to me about cameras. A group of park workers scuttle about as they spread hay around. They remind me of the ants I sucked up with my vacuum today. I had to stop the ants. There was food I left on the floor. I thought I was committing ants genocide. I had to stop the ant. There was food I left on the floor. I emptied the vacuum outside, and the ants all scurried out. I was relieved to see they were unharmed. The people are getting closer. I should move on. I stopped to get a burrito. It's the biggest burrito. As the lady was making it, I spaced out, thinking about how annoying it would be to get it home. As she was closing the container, she said, "That's all?" And I snapped back to reality and asked for pickled onions. As she undid the foil, she said, "You sleep?" And I replied, "Yes, I sleep." As I paid, I told the cashier, Sometimes I wonder if I'm always asleep, and when I dream, it's the only time I'm truly awake. He smiled awkwardly and said, "That's nice," under his breath while avoiding eye contact. Two guys are on a date next to me. One of them won't stop talking about himself and God. He says the same things over and over again in different words. If I were the other guy, I probably would have walked away by now. I think about asking them to watch my burrito while I take a shit, but figure it'd be more interesting to see if my burrito's still there if I just leave it. That would solve the problem of getting it back home. I also realize if I waste it, I wasted money, but I already wasted money. And if I don't do it anytime soon, as time slowly I also realize think about all the mistakes and waste of time and money and waste of time. I already wasted time left. I don't have to shit. At this point, I consider giving up, but only for a second. I opened the bathroom door with the code, and some dude was doing God knows what in there, so I closed it. I don't think he even noticed me. My burrito was still there, and the guy is still talking about himself and God. I wonder if there's something wrong with me. Why am I so tired? Why do I feel so drained? Cardio's good. My cardio's good. I'm getting enough sleep. Had my coffee. I had coffee, but it did nothing. I should keep going. On the crowded Beltline, I see the same lady who said hi to me in the woods. We both laugh and wave. It's moments like these where I realize coincidence and pattern, and how likely it would be that we would see each other, and how it's really just walking along the same path. How the things that seem like they're so big, and that the things that really happen that we think are crazy are really a lot more probable to happen. A tuft of lint blows around in a circle, then becomes stuck in a puddle of some unknown white substance. I decide to free it, although it remains motionless from the residual weight the last experience has caused it. And now I'm back, sitting exactly where I started, looking up at the same building. And I wonder if I really am just that stone block, sitting motionless in the sun, with a beautiful view in front of me.